Hi, everybody. It's Allie. And welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, November 13th, 2022. I don't know about you, but I give adultery an A. Plus, very entertaining. Adultery, very entertaining. Really hits the spot. Abby and Devon adulterated all over that apartment. They adulterated up against the wall, on the couch, on the floor, on the stairs. Finally, somebody used that staircase for what it was made for. Sex. Too much time has gone by with Devon just using that staircase to walk on like a fool when it was clearly better designed for sex. Naughty, adulterous sex with someone else's wife. I'm not complaining. Truly, I feel impressed with this level of debauchery. Impressed and thoroughly entertained. How about you? How are you feeling about the Abby and Devon affair? Did you find it a little hot? Be honest. Or not? Were you totally turned off by it? Go to yrchat.com to cast your vote this week. Abby and Devon, hot or not? I really thought that both Melissa Ordway and Brighton James brought the sexy. Yes, it was wrong. Of course it's wrong, but wrong and sexy. And entertaining. Oh, Devon and his tattoos, and Abby with her bouncy bra on. Oh, I thought they were both very hot, but even though I thought it was all very hot, I know it was wrong, and I also understood the emotion behind it. I thought that even they brought the sexy, but they also brought the heart. I could tell that Devon was feeling very vulnerable. He was flashing back more this week to thoughts of Neil, thinking about how, well, maybe he should have given Nate the chance that Neil gave to him. And Abby was feeling very vulnerable too. Chance had not come home the night after their coffee house fight, and he just sent some vague text message to her saying, oh, I need some space. So her husband didn't come home. So, of course, Abby and Devon were going to be seeking consolation together. Two sets of lonely lips. Two sets of lonely hips. Yearning to be united for our entertainment. Right as Amanda was returning from Coma City, wheeling her luggage along behind her, wasting time yakking with Nate, just waiting for Chance to show up so that we could get that double bust. I mean, in all of our years of watching soaps, have we ever had a double bust where both partners walked in on the affair? Damn, that is brilliant. I have to take all my hats off to Y&R. That episode had me screaming. Abby and Devon were all hot and sweaty. Naked, according to Amanda later. Not true. Not completely naked, but definitely hot and sweaty and in each other's arms. Just staying there, making out, holding each other, enjoying the moment when they both heard Amanda and Chance walk through the door. Oh, two totally different reactions, Amanda and Chance. Well, first of all, Chance walked in, saw what was happening, and then just turned right back around and walked out. Abby bounced off behind him. Help the lady find her shirt, Devon. And that was just the beginning for Amanda. Amanda definitely stuck around to slice Devon up and serve him for lunch. She said, fine, let's talk, but first, put on your shirt. And she just threw his shirt at him, totally disgusted with him. Oh yeah, of course. He tried defending himself, but what's he gonna say? How's he gonna defend this? And rightfully, Amanda wasn't gonna believe a word that was coming out of his mouth anyway. She didn't believe that it was just a one-time thing. In her mind, it's been going on. She said to him, well, you cheated on me. Does that mean that you cheated on my sister too? Thanks a whole lot, Devon. You really had me going there. You really had me believing that I was more than just the poor man's Hillary. The poor man's Hillary. She called herself the poor man's Hillary. Oh, that was so good. That was so bad, so good. She also said, well, it's a good thing I already got my suitcase packed because I'm just going to turn right around and be walking right back through that door. And I think, yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel so disappointed because, man, the scenes between Devon and Amanda left me wanting more. Definitely left me wanting more Amanda, but more Amanda and Devon too. I kind of want to see Amanda and Devon following it all through and awkwardly bumping into each other all over town and having to deal with it the way that like Sally and Adam always bump into each other and it's always awkward, or any exes, or I kind of wish that we were able to follow it all through. I feel sad that we're losing Michelle Morgan. We lost her once and then we got her back, which was very lucky, and now we're gonna lose her again, and I think it's probably, it might be for good this time. She's such a great actress, and I totally understand her wanting to move on. She's so talented and so gorgeous and so stunning, and now she's an Emmy winner too, so I completely get it, but she certainly went out with a bang. I really enjoyed that. I also thought she had a very good set of goodbye scenes with Phyllis, which seemed very real. It felt to me like the two actresses were kind of saying goodbye to each other as well within the scene. Phyllis and Amanda definitely had some pretty good scenes together. They had a pretty good friendship. Amanda definitely helped to keep Phyllis balanced a lot along the way, and now that's going to be gone. And Amanda told Phyllis that she's not coming back. What a bummer. I'm sure that we're going to get to see a lot of Abby and Chance unraveling their relationship in the coming weeks, but Amanda is just going to be gone now. When Chance left Devon's place, he went to some new place that we've never seen before. I was like, where is he? And it was never explained. I guess it's just a different part of the Chancellor Mansion, because it's the same place that Abby is having a conversation in the previews with Mariah and her two poorly placed buttons. And Abby is telling Mariah that Chance didn't come home last night again. Where's Chance going? Is he just roaming around all night? Is he getting a hotel room? Is he sleeping at the office? What's Chance doing? The Chance Mansion is his home. Well, actually, it's Jill's home, right? Jill owns the place, but, and I would think she would, that's kind of why he and Abby live there. It's sort of his family home, right? But I'm sure that Chance doesn't feel comfortable there anymore. It seems in the last couple of weeks he has said that. He doesn't feel comfortable being in his own home anymore, and he doesn't feel comfortable being himself around Abby anymore. I think he's probably going to move out right? I mean, he's probably going to want Abby and Dominic to stay in the home, and then he's just going to move out quietly and without a very dramatic reaction. Honestly, I felt like Chance's reaction was way less than I expected. He was just like, I knew it. I knew there was something going on with you two all along, which doesn't feel entirely true to me. I think that the Abby and Devon closeness mostly picked up steam within the last couple of weeks, obviously for the plot. The friendship has been there for a really long time, but I wasn't always getting romantic vibes the whole time along the way. But I did like that Chance mentioned how he was the one to encourage Devon's involvement in their lives, only now to have Devon be the one to maybe tear the family apart, although arguably that's Abby's doing. Oh, what a mess! What a mess. And Chance told Abby, well, pretty much there's no fixing this. Obviously you want to be with somebody who who you're connecting with, and I want to be around somebody that I can feel myself with too. Which means Chelsea. I mean, essentially that means Chelsea, but that's a story for a later date. I was just kind of wanting more from Chance. I was wanting him to have a different reaction or a bigger reaction. I wanted him to be mad. Mad like Amanda got mad. I mean, Abby is his wife, and she just betrayed him. And instead of getting mad, I think Chance mostly saw it as confirmation of what he was already feeling, and maybe he also saw it as a green light to just go ahead and do what maybe he's been wanting to do. End the marriage. And maybe he's right. If Abby and Devon had some kind of mystical connection going on there all along. I mean, Abby and Devon did have a chance to talk afterwards. I mean, she had to go back and get the baby. And they did talk. And Devon seemed very tender toward her, very affectionate toward her. And Devon was the one who first admitted that he doesn't necessarily regret what happened. That was very honest of him. I don't think Abby was ready to be honest about that. She instead kind of freaked out on him. I mean, I think that the idea of all of this, like, it felt good in the moment. There was the emotional connection, the physical connection. It just felt good. It felt right in the moment. She felt so good she wanted to stay in it. I mean, we saw that of her. But then when, you put your clothes on and you walk out in the world and you realize everything you have to lose, I think that changed a lot of her perspective. I mean, Abby was the one that was married. Abby was the one that was committed. She's got, the family with Chance. She's got more at stake. And I think that accepting that she's the one that stepped out on the marriage is going to be really hard for her to accept, especially since Abby is usually the one getting screwed over in the relationship, and this time she was the one to do the screwing. And, I mean, of course, we're soap opera fans. Of course, we're going to speculate about this, but what if now she's pregnant? Jess Walton back on set. No video call this time. She was there. She marched right into the Chancellor Winter's office and started griping about everything. Just like old times. Gave me comfort. Especially now that Esther is there. I don't even think I fully grasped at first the brilliance of making Esther the receptionist. But now Jill can kind of breeze in and treat her like dirt and move on. Just like old times. Jill definitely knows how to make a scene. I mean, she knows how to make a scene. And this week she had some things to say about and to her son. She was massively disappointed to walk into the office and find out that Billy had quit, leaving Lily in the lurch. And, I mean, in Jill's defense, I would probably have a much quieter but similar reaction on the inside. I mean, she has seen this pattern before from Billy, and she was just gonna call it out. Billy does this. He quits something because he thinks there's something bigger and better out there that will fulfill him, and then he does that for a while, and then he gets restless, and then he quits that too, and then the cycle starts all over again. Maybe we all do that to varying smaller degrees, but Billy tends to do it spectacularly. And Jill told Lily, do you really want to stick around and find out how this plays out? I mean, I hate to say it, honey, but you could do better. Yeesh, that was pretty blunt. I mean, Jill, I kind of quietly agree with you. Look, Billy has an addictive personality that I just personally could not tolerate being around, no matter how sexy and how cool he is, and he is sexy and cool. But if I were his mother, I don't know that I would have said it out loud. But like Jill said, I don't have the time and I don't have the energy to beat around the bush about this. I'm just going to call it like I see it. No beating around the bush. So Lily patiently listened to everything that Jill said, and she very respectfully defended Billy. I think maybe Lily sees it as defending herself a little bit. And let's not forget, she's got the complication of Jill being her boss. But I do think that in the coming weeks, Lily and Billy's relationship is going to be put to the test in a number of ways. I think that Lily is probably going to hear what Jill said. I think it's going to rattle around in her brain. And I think she is going to maybe be doing some reevaluating of, just making sure that she's still comfortable in the relationship. And, maybe she will be, maybe she won't be. But, I mean, Jill is kind of a terrible mother. She really is, and it is kind of her negligence that is at least partly what created Billy's personality problem. Billy is an attention seeker. He never got the attention that he wanted from John, needed from his father. And Jill is the one that sent him away to boarding school, and, I mean, he's never forgiven her for it. He felt abandoned by his mother. He's never forgiven her for it. And when it came time for Jill to confront Billy directly, I think she was right in a lot of the things she said. I think she gave him some pretty good advice and a warning about, spending your life following bright, shiny objects around. She said, I would really hate for you, son, to look back on your life and realize that you have wasted all of this time chasing something that doesn't exist. Yeah, it's good advice. And to boot, let's take the advice of John Abbott, may he rest in peace. Have some stick-to-itiveness. Yeah, it's reasonable. But these are all lessons that Jill should have taught Billy a long, long time ago, instead of just sending him away, figuring that somebody else would do it. Billy's kind of spoiled. He is. He gets away with a lot. I mean, a lot of the characters do, but yeah, I think he gets some leeway for some bad behavior. But he also does have some really great qualities, which Jill did mention. I mean, he is smart, he is savvy, he's creative. And when Billy cares about you, he really cares about you. All week, we've been juxtaposing Jill's criticisms of Billy with Billy being so supportive of Chelsea, sitting by Chelsea's bedside at the hospital, telling her he's glad she's alive. And let's not forget, Chelsea's alive because of Billy. And because of his bravery and because of his love and because of his perseverance, he saved her life. And, you know, I think the thing about the character of Billy is that he is just such a fully fleshed out human being to me. Like, he is so real in my mind. And I'm so really able to see his positive qualities and his negative qualities. It's just all very real to me. And he explained to Lily this week that he knows the dark side. He looks at Chelsea, he sees the darkness that she's consumed by, and he knows it, he recognizes it. And so that's why he feels so compelled to help usher Chelsea toward the light. And Lily seemed to understand that. I mean, maybe Lily hasn't experienced the exact type of pain and loss and depression, and maybe Billy is implying that he's had suicidal thoughts, and maybe Lily hasn't had that. I don't know. I mean, you know, you can't, like, let's weigh everything up and see who's suffered more, who's had more pain and darkness in their life. You know, I mean, it's not a contest. But Lily seemed to understand what Billy was saying. She seemed to want to offer herself to be there for him. I mean, Lily has had to live with Hillary's death on her hands. I'm sure that she has had some pretty dark times in prison too, thinking about that. So, yeah, again, not a contest. Just an opportunity, I guess, to be there for each other. And maybe Lily will have some of that stick-to-itiveness when it comes to Billy. And maybe Lily will accept Billy's continued desire to help Chelsea, and maybe Lily will be able to rise up and realize that Billy helping Chelsea is not even about their relationship. It doesn't have to be about their relationship, or maybe it will evolve that way. I'm not exactly sure, but you know, at the end of the day, Lily will have to realize this is not about her. But, you know, I mean, it's going to be a long road, I would imagine. And we'll see if their relationship stands the test of time. Chelsea's got a lot of work to do. She had her first therapy session this week. And again, I thought the counselor was really excellent. Along, of course, with Melissa Claire Egan as Chelsea. She's amazing again. And Chelsea was able to talk to Adam this week about what had happened. And I thought it was kind of interesting that Chelsea told Adam what happened without telling Adam what happened. I mean, she wasn't explicit about it, but he was on the rooftop that night too. He saw her there, and the way that she was explaining it, he was able to understand what she was saying, put two and two together, and Adam was able to respond in a positive way. He too told Chelsea that he is glad that she is alive, and it's clear that Adam wants to be a partner among many people there who want to partner with Chelsea to help her get better, but he wants to be there for her with her recovery. And Adam didn't have to have that reaction. He didn't have to do that. I think there's absolutely a universe where the ex-husband is annoyed by all of this. I mean, Chelsea's continued psychological problems are not news or new to Adam, and he certainly could have used it as an excuse to shut her out of Connor's life forever. He could have used this as an excuse to let it be the last straw, but he didn't do that. He chose compassion instead, and he was very reassuring to Chelsea that, you know, that she's a good mother to Connor. I think that Adam recognizes the good that's there in Chelsea, you know, even among the chaos, in the same way that, for instance, Sharon or Sally or other, you know, a couple other people along the way have recognized the good that's there in Adam amongst the chaos. Real quick, is Sally seriously going to choose Nick over Adam? I mean, it just, that doesn't seem right. Sally wants Adam. She's been thinking of Adam for so long. We've had to endure Chloe's nagging for months. And now Sally's finally free of Chloe. And she's not going to pick the man that she really wants? I don't know. Sally told Nick that what she really, really wants is a drama-free relationship, and that Adam represents nothing but conflict. Well, no. Dating either brother represents conflict. If you want drama-free, then go date Chance. He's going to be single real soon. I'm just not into this triangle. And also, I can't help feeling like Sally's just trying to make the safe choice here. Because, I mean, Sally and Nick, is anybody rooting for Sally and Nick? I don't know. I mean, it was hot at first for the shock value. I liked the shock value. And the scenes were good. It was hot. But, I mean, I'm not pulling for them to be together. I don't know. I thought Sally's scene this week with Jill was a whole lot of fun. Sally taking a fake interview for Jill's benefit. But of course, Jill saw right through it because it takes one to know one. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Kyle Abbott had the most mature reaction to Diane's predicament. He said, you know what? It doesn't affect me. So I'm just gonna forgive you and move on. How about that? It's none of my business. What? If more characters had an attitude of, it's none of my business, then we'd have no show. Let it go. That must be Kyle's mantra. That's kind of also the mantra that Lauren was encouraging Phyllis to have this week. Like, you can't do anything about this, and you're just destroying yourself over it. And I think, Kyle realizes that. Kyle with the emotional intelligence. That's the shocker of the week. Kyle doesn't want to destroy his family over this. I mean, Harrison loves his Dee Dee even more than Summer, apparently. When it was time to take Harrison to the hospital for some testing, don't worry, it turned out to be nothing, just a virus. Came time to take Harrison to the hospital, and he wanted his Dee Dee with him instead, so Summer decided not to go. There is no planet on which I would let my kid go to the hospital not knowing what was wrong, and then I just go back to work and make some phone calls. Hell no. Summer should have been at the hospital with Harrison, making nice with Diane if she had to. But now things have suddenly changed. Summer's attitude about Diane has completely and suddenly changed. Now suddenly Summer is the newest applicant for the Destroy Diane Club. She's writing out her application and writing a little summary about why she should be included in the group. But I think she's much too late. She's totally late to the party because it feels like the focus is completely shifted over to Tucker. Everybody's just thinking about their newest target, Tucker, and how we're going to get him out of town. Victor predicted out of the blue with zero evidence that Tucker is probably going after Chancellor Winters and Jabot. I mean, Michael was able to connect Audra to Tucker, so Victor had some evidence, but I would not suspect that Tucker was, like, from that little evidence about Audra, I would not then take the leap to suspect that Tucker really wanted to take over Jabot and put Ashley in charge of it. It's a leap of logic that I just don't follow, but thank you very much, Victor, for laying out the plot. Okay, because otherwise I was lost on Tucker's intention. And then Tucker told Audra, because he has to have somebody to have exposition with, he told Audra that now he wants to pit brother against sister. Okay. So that's the plot. Now we know. Well, I guess he's just using the Diane situation to ingratiate himself with Ashley. He made a special trip to Jabot to deliver dirt on Diane to Ashley with her big red bow on it, literally. He handed her an article that predictably says, Jeremy Stark, big bad guy, getting out of prison early. Wow! A whole article about that. I mean, if it's significant enough to get a whole article, this guy must be pretty bad. And then, by the way, Tucker hijacked the elevator to tell Ashley about all of this while some hapless employee stood there just like pushing the down button, like just hoping to get downstairs for her lunch hour. That is so rude. Did you really have to have that conversation in the elevator? Don't they know that elevator stops are for sex only? Not just to have another conversation about Diane. Diane doesn't seem to know that her tormentor, will be getting out of prison, prison early. Like, hello, this is what makes me feel sorry. That's what makes me feel sorry for Diane. This guy could be dangerous. Really, really dangerous. And meanwhile, everybody's like, hey, this could be the thing that finally gets Diane on top. Well, he could also, like, kill her. I mean, or who knows what. Everybody's so happy to get this information about this scary dude. And I guess since blackmail seems to be the preferred method of coercion with Diane, I bet you Ashley is now going to turn around and try to convince Diane that she should leave town all on her own so that this Jeremy guy, this big bad Jeremy guy, doesn't come looking for her here in Genoa City and then put Harrison and the whole family in danger. I just can see that we're going to see Diane trying to selflessly step away and leave Genoa City, only to find herself snagged on Jack's arm on the way out the door. Something's pulling me. I'm trying to leave. What am I caught on? Oh, Jack. Jack actually said to Ashley this week, he used these words. He said, will you just leave that poor woman alone? Oh, Jack. That poor woman, he called her. Or the poor woman. Oh, that says it all. That says it all. Jack has got sympathy for Diane. He is defending her. And he wants the drama to end so that he can start planning the wedding. Well, me too. I want that too. But I think Diane's going to try to run, and I think Jack's going to try to stop her, and I think he's going to ultimately protect her, and somehow in doing that, he's going to end up walking right into Tucker's trap. Congratulations, Allie! You have officially become a tried and true soap opera heroine. Walking in on your boyfriend, embracing another woman, like, you've earned your stripes. You've earned a new badge. Allie just leveled up. Oh, Audra tracked Noah down this week. She followed him from the coffee house to the glam club to desperately plead with him that their relationship did matter. It had to matter because of the baby. So, according to Audra, when she and Noah were together, but toward the end of their relationship, she became pregnant, and she didn't tell him right away because she did not want to be accused of, like, using the pregnancy as a way to emotionally blackmail him when things hadn't been going well between them for some time now. So her plan was to just bide her time until things with the relationship got better, and then she'd tell him. But then one day she didn't get her chance because Noah just did not come home. And she miscarried the baby. And she's just been feeling like she lost everything, the baby and him. And that's why she's in Genoa City now, looking for resolution on their relationship. Well, I mean, that story sure turned Noah right around in a hurry, didn't it? He went from pushing her away to pulling her in for an embrace, for a hug, which Allie, of course, walked in on. So the question is, do we believe Audra's story, or was it just a carefully crafted and effective way to gain sympathy from Noah and make a little progress toward getting him back? Let your life be driven with purpose. Yes, I love that quote. It was from last week. Tricky one, because it was in a flashback of Neil. Neil was giving young Devon a little bit of advice, and he told him, let your life be driven with purpose. Oh, I thought that was a good one to include. I don't get very many opportunities anymore to pick quotes that came from Neil. So, shout outs to Nancy, Wendy, Daisy, Naomi, Ron, Kamna, Henry, Tanya, Lara, Sue W, and Diana, because you guys all guessed it right. I like this little piece of advice too. Keep the office humor to a minimum. What do you think about that? Keep the office humor to a minimum. Who said it? If you think you know, go to yrchat.com to leave your guess. And if you get it right, I will give you your shout out during next week's Y&R Chat. All right, let's take a look at some of your comments now. Sharita says, I love that Victor had figured out Tucker's plan. I wonder if he'll warn Jack or Ashley or Devon or Jill. Why hasn't anyone brought Audra's relationship with Tucker to the Chancellor Winter's staff's attention? Oh yeah, this is a good question. A couple good questions actually. Will Victor warn anybody since he's figured this out so brilliantly? Or is he just going to keep this information to himself? And also, yeah, no one has mentioned, is anybody going to plan to mention that Audra is the mole? And if Audra is the mole, that means that her little world is going to be blowing up in her face. I wonder if Noah will find a way to defend her. Ron says, oh, Audra, you found your way in. I think it's a hoax. There was no baby or miscarriage. She's so conniving. Yes, this was my first reaction too. Like, this is a lie, right? This girl's, she talked to Allie. Allie said, look, you're not going to unnerve me. There's nothing you're going to do that's going to come in between Noah and me. And so Audra went away for a couple weeks, hatched this plan, and came back and said it. I mean, that's the soap opera answer. But then again, I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to know. It's sort of the brilliance of what she came up with. If it is a lie, there's no proving or disproving it. Sherrod says, I'm thinking that if Audra was pregnant, maybe she didn't miscarry, and the child is actually still out there. And Tucker McCall knows this. The child would be Newman, something Tucker would relish knowing. Oh, yeah. So would Audra know that she would know that she didn't miscarry? She would know that she had a child out there, and she would just be keeping it to herself because of maybe Tucker was blackmailing her? That's pretty good. Hey, Sue W says, it's hard for me to muster much interest in the latest Audra reveal. It seems kind of meh at the minute, as does the fact that Audra works for Tucker. Audra's clearly seductive, Noah's clearly rattled, Allie's clearly insecure, and the story is clearly nowhere, as far as I can see. I'm neutral as to if Noah and Allie stay together mooning over each other or not, so Audra's presence isn't wowing me. Sue W. Audra's presence really isn't wowing me either. Like I said last week, I don't feel like Tucker's presence is really wowing me. I got a boost out of it at first. No, not so sure. And Noah and Allie, yeah, again, they're nice, but it also doesn't wow me. Oh, I feel bad saying that. But Ellen says they've put Noah and Allie on recurring status. So I doubt that we're going to get much follow through on any of this. It makes it hard to invest any energy in these scenes. No, is that right? So Noah and Allie are both going to recurring? Well, I mean, I guess that's not the death nail. It means they're definitely not going to have a front burner storyline. Maybe whatever this is will arc and it'll kind of quietly go away. Maybe the Y&R felt it wasn't working. I really like Allie and I like Noah. It's just that the coupling together isn't really blowing me back, but I like them both individually, and I would like to just see some maybe more creative ways to work them into the show. But again, young romance has its place, and even if it's not for me at this moment, maybe it is for somebody at their moment of what they're looking for their Y&R. So I can't knock it. I'm a little sad to see them both go. But being on recurring definitely doesn't mean we won't see them ever again. Speaking of things that aren't wowing me, Elena and Nate had their reunion this week and I was kind of bored. She came to the office and, they had a smooch, but it was very boring to me. I think it's just very clear that it's being set up that Nate is going to have trouble connecting with Elena, have trouble repairing what's been fractured with Elena, and meanwhile Victoria is going to be there like a Victoria, easy breezy buddy. Just like how Victoria always is, easy and fun, and that's what's gonna attract them to each other. But Laura says, I felt more cringe watching Victoria fangirl over Nate than Chance and Amanda walking in on the scene, into the scene. Yeah. Well, I have got to give you guys my favorite comment of the week, and it comes from Lara, who says, well, good thing Dom is a heavy sleeper. That was a lot of banging. It was, Lara. It was a lot of banging. They did a lot of banging. I love the word banging to describe what went on there. That's just fun to say and think of. And yeah, I mean, they really, really had a lot of opportunity to thoroughly get it on. And Dom didn't wake up once. Sherrod says, I see that Devon's go-to move is to have sex with women on the stairs. He did it with Hillary, Mariah, Amanda, and now Abby. But with the first three, it was further up the staircase. That led to the bedroom, and of course, not with Abby because of the necessary plot point. Devon had sex with Mariah on the stairs? I don't remember that at all. I'm sure that's true, but I don't want to relive it. T. Nicole says, how many of you think that Chance should punch Devon and end his surgical career because he slept with his wife? Okay, I guess Devon doesn't have a surgical career, but maybe he can have a black eye before a big presentation or something. Devon punched Nate for sleeping with Elena, which happened because Elena was feeling neglected and distant in her relationship with Devon and wanted to feel wanted. Well, Abby slept with Devon because she's feeling neglected and distant in her relationship and wanted to feel wanted. What if Nate pointed this out to Devon? And if he thinks he should lose the company over this, just as Nate lost his surgical career for a cheating scandal? T. Nicole, I can't say it any better, and I have nothing to add. That was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Sharita says, Amanda was amazing this week. I'm going to miss her. I really found it shocking that Abby and Devon think their partners will forgive them. They're so intertwined in each other's lives that how could Chance or Amanda think this won't happen again? I do think if they're honest with themselves, Devon and Abby will realize they're more than friends, and I'm sure they're here for it. Well, they'll realize that they're more. I just lost my place, which I never do. I think if they're honest with themselves, Devon and Abby will realize they are more than friends, and I'm surprisingly here for it. I think they could have a love story built from a friendship. Amanda never really worked because aside from looking like Hillary, the rest of the personality was nothing like her twin. She doesn't have the spark that holds Devon's interest long term. I think personality-wise, Abby is much more like Hillary. I think that will keep his interest. Yeah, I'm into Abby and Devon. I think you make a really interesting point, though, that maybe the Devon and Amanda connection wasn't built up enough. It was riding on the coattails of the Hillary character. But Sue W. says, well, I think what I'm going to say is blasphemous, but I suddenly like the idea of Abby and Devon together. I know. Chance looks way better on ahem paper. And yeah, he's Abby's husband. And yeah, enough said. But still, some of the most epic, cheesy word, but enduring real life love stories have grown after and despite of infidelity. Should a person forever sacrifice their own happiness for someone else's? I don't know, situation dependent. People in life move on, maybe for the better. Can people come out on the better side of heartache? I don't know. Ideals don't always reflect reality. Wow, that's deep and true. Yes, I think I feel that way too. I'm kind of, at this point, even though I wanted to see Abby and Chance fix the relationship, there's this chemistry there between Abby and Devon that I didn't realize was there before, and I would like to see more of. Plus, I do think that Chance could be better suited to work with maybe a different character. I think Chance maybe he's not attracted as much to someone who, you make this great connection between Abby and Hillary. Maybe Chance's type of personalities, maybe this Chance anyway, not as attracted to someone who's like flamboyant the way that Abby is. But Devon really likes that. He's attracted to that type of woman. So maybe this is for the best. But Diana says, for a married woman, Abby never once showed any restraint or second thoughts about her actions. Even afterwards, Abby was very content in her choice to cheat on Chance, as she told Devon she wanted to hang on to whatever it was they had going on with one another. Yeah, totally true. What Laura says, Abby said, I was in a bad place because you were gone all night. And she also said, Devon never tells us work matters more than the baby and her. Those are not meant to be excuses. They were meant to blame Chance for Abby's behavior. Oh yeah, when she said that, Devon never tells us work matters more. Yeah, you're right. That was pretty bad. I forgot about that. Great point. Yeah, that was not meant to be an excuse. It was meant to blame Chance for her behavior. Great. Gary says, given Abby's nature and personality and her fairy tale love for Chance Chancellor, watching her try to cope with having blown up her world will be the thing to watch. She is going to be completely done in by her own actions. Yeah, I know. That is what's interesting. I'm looking forward to the aftermath of Abby and watching her unravel herself. Gary also says, I believe Chance Chancellor's study with the great Zen masters has made him this calm, so passive-aggressive. Sure, Devon, claim my kid. Now take my wife. I could see it all along. Yeah. So maybe Chance Chancellor was secretly up at the ashram with Tucker all those years ago. Yeah, he had a great, very calm reaction to it all. Sure, first take my kid, now have my wife. Sure, no problem. Oh, well, Henry says, on a different topic, Jill needs replacements for Nate and Billy. So could Sally Spectra be on deck to fill one of those spots? Maybe along with Chloe? However, would Lily go for that? Would Devon? It would be 3 powerful women doing their thing in the corporate world. 4 with Jill. Lastly, will Nate be seeking a CEO for Newman Media? Oh yeah, Sally and Chloe working at Chancellor Winters with Lily and Devon, but also Nate's going to be needing a COO. Wonder how that will all shake out. I haven't had a chance to think about it. Where will Sally Spectra land? Laura says, I don't want to hear. I want to show the world that I can succeed in anything I choose from Sally anymore. The world just wants you to go about your business. We don't need to be shown anything. Get over whatever insecurity leads you to having to prove yourself to the world. Do it for yourself. Oh, yeah. Great, Laura. And Robbie says, random thought, but if Sally ultimately picks Nick, what about an Adam Lily pairing? Ooh, Billy's focus on Chelsea could leave an opening. Ooh, Adam and Lily. Yeah, that almost has been teased a teeny tiny little bit. That's a triangle I could actually get behind. Adam, Lily, Billy. Can't we do that instead of Adam, Nick, Sally? Please, pretty please. Victoria says Adam's and Chelsea's interaction at the treatment center were some of the most mature they've had. Adam's response to Chelsea showing his caring and concern. Adam gets a bum rap from most of GC, but rarely does he earn it. The writers have transformed Adam's character into someone who is empathetic, caring, and loyal. He's still flawed to ensure drama. However, I understand Chelsea's hesitation to depend totally on Adam. She knows she could fall back in love with him, given half the chance. It's safer to keep him at arm's length. I hadn't even thought of that Chelsea's afraid to lean on Adam too much because she could fall back in love with him. Well, yeah. Ellen says Adam's reaction to Chelsea's situation was sensitive and touching. He's ready, willing, and able to give her whatever support she wants from him. No, Billy, Adam's not in any way to blame and does not make every situation worse. That's you. Yeah, look from the previews that they're going to be locking horns over Chelsea's recovery. I'm not exactly looking forward to that either. But I have thought in general that Y&R has done a very good job of handling Chelsea's suicide attempt story, and apparently 94% of Y&R chatters agree. I really wasn't expecting it to be that overwhelmingly positive, but the majority of people are thinking that Y&R did a really good job with this. Southside Granny says, I think they did an excellent job with Suicide Prevention Week. So many people just don't understand the depths a person will sink trying to get away from the uncontrolled pain and sorrow. Chelsea's character really let those feelings in, and not everyone can play that part in such a realistic manner. And Billy Boy's part was played just as well, too. Bravo to Y&R. Yes, only 6% thought that there was, that Y&R didn't do a good job handling it, but I didn't see any comments about what exactly wasn't handled very well. I couldn't think of any negatives about the story last week, but then it did dawn on me one criticism I do have of all of this week. The velour jumpsuits have got to go. Why is that such a trope? The second that you go into like a coma or a medical situation, or you've been trapped in somebody's basement, Y&R styles you in a velour jumpsuit. We spent a lot of time last year when Chelsea had her stroke. It was a rainbow multicolor fall array, a cornucopia of fall colors of the velour jumpsuit, and I thought we evolved past it. I mean, we talked at length about it, and now here we are. She's in the new facility, and I've seen 2 velour hoodie jumpsuits this week. Can we evolve past this fashion-wise, is what I'm asking. Oh, let's talk about, oh goodness, Jill and Billy and that whole mess. Naomi says, Jill should first reflect on her own failures as a daughter, a wife, and a mother. Then she might understand some of Billy's so-called failures. He's just a normal, flawed person with a harpy mother quick to undermine his confidence. That's what I like about Billy, is that it's like, he seems like a normal, flawed person. Like, I just feel like I know this guy. I just do. I've known many of him, I think. Laura says, when Jill said she was disappointed in Billy, I didn't like it. That is a devastating thing for any parent to say. You can say that you vehemently disagree and it feels like you get your point across without soul-shattering. I'm disappointed. I didn't even realize the cleverness of that comment until just now. Yes. Very good. Very, very, very good and very true. Dolores says, and with the constant attitudes of Billy's family being disappointed in him and seeing him as a forever screw-up, it's probably one of Billy's inability to see the better side or changes in Adam. Billy never is made or allowed to see himself as nothing more than a failure. It's probably why he's trying so hard to be there for Chelsea. He cannot fail as a friend or being a protector. Yeah. Daisy says Jill is responsible for her own anger, not Billy. She's been through the same scenario with Billy too many times to count. Expecting things to change means she believed Billy had changed. And I think that Jill believed that Lily could change her son to be more reliable and responsible and to hold down a job for life this time. But Billy has not changed. He never once said he was happy being COO. He did say he was happy with the podcast and growing it. And the only person who heard him was Chelsea. But even though Jill highly suggested Billy's work in the newly merged company, it's not what he wanted. Yeah, I think Billy took that job because he needed something to do. Because, he kind of got a slap on the wrist. He was the CEO and he blew it, put the company in jeopardy. And, I think he stepped down and just decided to be second banana for Lily for a while. But his heart was never, ever in it. His heart was in the podcast. And when he quit that, Chelsea knew that he was lying to himself. Chelsea knew that he was lying to himself. Well, Diana says when Billy was telling Lily that he understands how Chelsea's feeling, because he's been in her shoes before, Billy was basically saying that he and Chelsea can relate in another way that Lily would not understand. Lily seemed to agree, although not happy, that she apparently doesn't share this bond with Billy, that he seems to share with Chelsea regarding their trials and tribulations. But I was surprised that Lily did not respond by reminding Billy all of her severe hardships in life. Lily has had cancer. She's lost both her mother and her father, been through a divorce, was charged with vehicular manslaughter of her brother's wife, and went to prison. Her troubles make Chelsea and Billy's look like a day at Disney World. It's quite insulting that Billy's not acknowledging any of these calamities in Lily's life. Yeah, and maybe Lily just didn't want to make it about her. Maybe she just didn't want to try to make it a who's more miserable contest. And maybe that's why she didn't mention it. But I agree that he came off as saying, I understand, you don't understand. And that part didn't feel true because I think Lily does and can understand. Oh, well, a little bit of a different topic here. Sue W. says Phyllis and Amanda had a lovely superficial over drinks because we have no other gal pals camaraderie. But Phyllis was a bit more histrionic in saying goodbye to Amanda. I've said this before, Phyllis needs a man. It's been way too long. Yeah, it felt a little high schoolish, like losing my friend. Phyllis totally made it about her. I'm losing my friend. I don't have any other friends. My only friends are my enemies. And I feel bad for Phyllis when she says that, but at the same time it was a little like, well, you're not friends anymore. She's just leaving town, and she obviously had a pretty kind of traumatic event here. Oh. Victoria says, I'm so glad Lauren is trying to talk some sense into Phyllis. Lauren is outraged by Diane's actions too, but she gets that it isn't helpful to go on the warpath. Phyllis, when that many people are telling you to drop it, it's time to drop it. It's better to let Diane fall into her own trap if she deserves it. Yeah, amen. And Ron says Phyllis is gradually alienating herself. Even Ashley, while in on the conspiring, gives Phyllis a side-eyed look like she's concerned about being involved with her. It seems like an odd about-face with Lauren telling her to try to put yourself in her shoes exercise, but she was exactly right. Phyllis has pulled some shady acts, often bragging about them in public. I wish Michael could have heard Lauren's advice. His reactions to her unpredictability are fun to watch. Yeah, I did. I definitely liked Lauren calling Phyllis out and saying, you've pulled some stunts too, sister." And it would have been fun if Michael was there. Their dynamic never fails. The Michael and Lauren dynamic never fails to swoon me. Leslie says, "I know he talks that way all the time, but when Michael said to Victor that he heard from one of his operatives on the drive over, I thought, who talks like that? It's not like he's the CIA. Wouldn't you just say people, not operatives?" I guess it suits Michael's character. Yeah, I mean, Michael has got operatives, don't you know? He's got operatives from here to Peru. And don't forget, he's also an expert in Peruvian law, which is a good thing because that really came in handy when he was able to barter himself out of jail. Happy birthday, Colleen! Oh, your birthday's today. I saved it and I was like, ooh, that's actually going to align on a Sunday so I can actually give a live birthday shout out. Happy birthday to you. I hope you have a really good day today. And everyone, I hope you have a really good day and a really good week. You can go to yrchat.com to leave your comments, of course. Vote in the poll, do the quotes, look at all the photos. There's lots of stuff to do there. And I'll be there uploading more photos and stuff on Monday. And we'll see you again next Sunday. Okay. I love you guys. Have a good week. Bye.